important. അതിൻ്റെ പ്രാധാന്യം വർദ്ധിച്ചുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുകയാണ്. I was in Germany last week. ഒരു പാർലമെൻറ്റ് ഡെലിഗേഷൻ്റെ ഭാഗമായിട്ട് I was in Germany. So I was interacting with a lot of people in German parliament, cross-section of people in Germany. So, the trend in Germany is that there's a right-wing party. നാസി മുദ്രകളൊക്കെയുള്ള നാസി ചിഹ്നങ്ങളൊക്കെ എടുത്ത് ഉപയോഗിക്കുന്ന ഒരു പാർട്ടി ഇപ്പോൾ ഇറ്റ്സ് ഫാസ്റ്റ് ഗെയിനിങ് ഗ്രൗണ്ട് ഇൻ ജർമ്മനി. ദാറ്റ് ഈസ് കോൾഡ് AFD. ദാറ്റ്സ് കോൾഡ് AFD. ഇന്ത്യയിൽ നിന്നാണ് അവർ ഇൻസ്പിറേഷൻ വാങ്ങിക്കൊണ്ടിരിക്കുന്നത്. That's another thing. They are getting inspiration from India. And they were saying that ജർമ്മനിയിൽ ഈ നാസിസം ഉണ്ടാകാൻ കാരണം, ഹിറ്റ്ലർ അധികാരത്തിലേക്ക് വരാൻ കാരണം, ട്രേഡ് യൂണിയൻസിനെയും യൂണിയനുകളെയും അസോസിയേഷനുകളെയും ഒക്കെ തളർത്തി. The first thing Hitler did, ban the unions, ban the associations. അതിന് പകരം they brought something like a DFO, എന്തോ ഒരു സംഘടന, collaboration between the employers and employees. An organization was no strike, it was banned, only negotiation, only mediation. The first thing Hitler did was. അതുകൊണ്ടാണ് ലോകത്തിലെ മഹാനായ ശാസ്ത്രജ്ഞൻ ആൽബർട്ട് ഐൻസ്റ്റീൻ പറഞ്ഞത്, നമ്മുടെ യൂണിയനുകൾ, നിങ്ങൾക്കറിയാം ആൽബർട്ട് ഐൻസ്റ്റീൻ ഹിറ്റ്ലറിൻ്റെ സ്ഥാനാരോഹണ സമയത്ത് ജർമ്മനിയിൽ നിന്ന് പലായനം ചെയ്ത ആളാണ്. അതല്ലെങ്കിൽ ആൽബർട്ട് ഐൻസ്റ്റീനെ ഒരു ഗ്യാസ് ചേമ്പറിലിട്ടിട്ട് ഹിറ്റ്ലർ കൊല്ലുമായിരുന്നു. കറക്റ്റ് സമയത്ത് ജർമ്മനിയിൽ നിന്ന് രക്ഷപ്പെട്ടു പോയ ആളാണ് ആൽബർട്ട് ഐൻസ്റ്റീൻ. He gave an interview to New York Times, I think. In that, Albert Einstein said that there was a psychic distemper which was sweeping across Germany. അതായത് ജർമ്മനിയെ ഇങ്ങനെ അടിമുടി ബാധിച്ചുകൊണ്ട് കടന്നുപോയ ഒരു സൈക്കിക് ഡിസ്റ്റംബർ ഉണ്ട്. സൈക്കിക് ഡിസ്റ്റംബർ, ഇഫ് യു വാണ്ട് ടു ട്രാൻസ്ലേറ്റ് ദാറ്റ് സൈക്കിക് ഡിസ്റ്റംബർ ഇൻ ടു മലയാളം, ഇറ്റ് വുഡ് ബി ഒരു മനോരോഗം എന്ന് പറയാൻ പറ്റും, ഒരു മെൻ്റൽ ഇൽനെസ്. Then he said, if the trade unions, if the association, if the academic community had withstood Hitler, he wouldn't have been successful. If there was a deliberate opposition to Hitler from those organized labor and the academic community, Germany would have been entirely different. ഒരുപക്ഷെ ലോക വിപത്തിനെ അഭിമുഖീകരിക്കില്ലായിരുന്നു എന്ന് മഹാനായിട്ടുള്ള ആൽബർട്ട് ഐൻസ്റ്റീൻ പറയുന്നു. ഞാൻ കൂടുതൽ സമയം എടുക്കുന്നില്ല. ഇന്ത്യയുടെ പൊതുമേഖലാ ബാങ്കിങ് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് നമ്മുടെ സാമ്പത്തിക പരമാധികാരത്തിൻ്റെ നട്ടെല്ലാണ്, അതിൻ്റെ നെടുന്തൂണാണ്. അതിനൊരു പോറലും ഏൽക്കരുത് എന്നുള്ളത് നിങ്ങളുടെ മാത്രം ആവശ്യമല്ല, ഞങ്ങളുടെയും കൂടി ആവശ്യമാണ്. ഒരുപക്ഷെ നിങ്ങളോട് ചേർന്ന് നിൽക്കാൻ ഞങ്ങളെ പ്രേരിപ്പിക്കുന്ന ഏറ്റവും പ്രധാനപ്പെട്ട ഘടകമെന്ന് പറയുന്നത് എന്നെപ്പോലുള്ള സാധാരണക്കാരായ കോടാനുകോടി വരുന്ന ജനങ്ങളുടെ മുമ്പോട്ടുള്ള പ്രയാണത്തിനും അതിജീവനത്തിനും പരമപ്രധാനമാണ് നിങ്ങളെന്നുള്ള ആ വസ്തുതയ്ക്ക് അടിവരയിടാൻ കൂടിയാണ് ഞാൻ ഇത്രയും നേരം സംസാരിച്ചത്. ഇനി ഒരുപാട് പേര് സംസാരിക്കാനുണ്ട്. SBI ഓഫീസ് അസോസിയേഷൻ്റെ ഈ മഹത്തായ സമ്മേളനം സന്തോഷം പങ്കിടുന്നതിനൊപ്പം തന്നെ ഈ മേഖലയിലെ പ്രശ്നങ്ങളും പ്രതിസന്ധികളും കൂടി ചർച്ച ചെയ്ത് ഒരുപക്ഷെ ഞങ്ങൾക്കും രാജ്യത്തിനും വഴികാട്ടാൻ തയ്യാറാകുമെന്നുള്ള ശുഭാപ്തി വിശ്വാസത്തിൽ ഞാൻ ഈ സമ്മേളനം ഔപചാരികമായി ഉദ്ഘാടനം ചെയ്തതായി അറിയിക്കുന്നു. നന്ദി, നമസ്കാരം.
Let's give a standing ovation to our chief guest. Thank you, sir, for that brilliant discourse, the brilliance that we have seen in the parliament. Thank you for giving us a glimpse of that. Thank you, sir.
We express our sincere gratitude to our chief guest, Sri Britas, for gracing this occasion with his valuable presence. He has an urgent commitment to attend, and we thank him wholeheartedly for taking time off his busy schedule to be with us today.
Moving on, for the principal address, we have amongst us today a distinguished leader from the State Bank family gracing the occasion. His dynamic leadership, strategic vision, and calm demeanor has set our circle on a path of growth and excellence. Under his guidance,
I made it a point to use this first sentence in all my addresses wherever I go out, because beyond that I am still not able to speak in Malayalam. I am still in the process of learning. Hope that maybe within the next 2 months I will start speaking at least something in Malayalam. Honorable Member of Parliament, of course in his absence now, he left now because of his busy schedule, Britas, and respected General Secretary, SBI Officers Federation, and IBOC also, and President SBI Officers Association Kerala Circle, Sri Biju, and General Secretary SBI Officers Association, Sri Rajesh, and President SBI Staff Union Kerala Circle, Sri Rajat, and Sri Koshi, Philip Koshi, General Secretary SBI Pensioners and Retirees Association Kerala, and my colleague General Managers, Sri Sushil, Sri Divyangsu, and my DGM colleagues, and also all the office bearers, presidents, and general secretaries of various circle associations who are there on the dais, and all other colleagues who are on the dais or also in the audience, and all the members of State Bank Officers Association Kerala Circle and my colleagues. Good morning to all of you. And also I must especially compliment the SBI Officers Association Kerala Circle for having involved and invited large number of former colleagues as well, whose contribution is invaluable to the growth of this organization. I think maybe after almost 45 minutes to 1 hour speech of scintillating speech by the Honorable Member of Parliament, it's very difficult for me to deliver any speech further. But whatever I speak now, please take it. It is not official. In my personal capacity, I'm speaking. But there may be here and there some statements which are in lighter vein. This is the caveat I'm giving in advance. I'm truly delighted to be here today, to be a part of this 9th Triennial General Council meeting of SBI Officers Association Kerala Circle. And I have seen from the moment I entered here, the strategy, planning, and execution is immaculate. I think we need to learn. I think you need to document this one and share with us. For all the events that we are going to organize henceforth also, we need to learn something from this, because the coordination and even there is no confusion. Every single action and activity is being executed with perfect finesse. So my compliments to the SBI Officers Association Kerala. But only thing is, when I listened to the welcome speech of Sri Rajesh, at times I got confused whether it is a peer review meeting or triennial council meeting, because he started speaking more with much focus on MD ranking scores. And I'm very happy. That's an indication, basically, whether it's the association or the management, whoever we call it, Basically, our purpose is same. In fact, the Officers Association of Kerala Circle has been playing a pivotal role, reflecting the strength and unity of the officers community, and also the unified purpose of the cause of the entire fraternity of the officers in the circle. In fact, I am thankful to you and I acknowledge the role that you are playing in ensuring that constructive dialogue between the management and associations to take care of the welfare of the officers, association, officers, members. And my predecessors have also continued the great culture of a constructive dialogue, and I can assure you that it will be continued. They have done a great job, and my role is to continue the mantle forward. And also, the circle has been doing good, and it is known for its certain standards, especially in the operational areas and even the business as well. Every circle will have certain advantages, certain challenges, but unique advantages, whatever that we are endowed with in the circle, we are trying to harness further to ensure that the circle is always on the highest pedestal as far as performance and the employee welfare is concerned. I don't want to touch anything related to the changes that are happening now. Of course, the previous speaker has spoken something, and our colleagues are also there to speak on that. I want to mention something about the legacy that has been bequeathed to us as State Bank of family, and our bounden duty to ensure that we carry forward this great legacy for the posterity as well. For that reason, we need to prepare ourselves with the latest demands and expectations from the customers. To face them effectively, we need to go on, keep learning, and also unlearn whatever we have already learned, because unless until you have the ability to diversify yourself and go on acquiring new skill sets, going forward, the banking will be something different. It's very, very challenging. And maybe 30 years back when I joined the bank, we used to have a very heavy ledgers in the counters. And some people were so feeble that they could not handle the ledgers. That kind of ledgers were there. Today, everything will be on the system and digital platforms. The kind of transformation that I have seen for the last 30 years is humongous. Maybe 10 years down the line, I still visualize a situation wherein you may not find the people, mostly machines will be running this organization. That does not mean people will be out of job. Only thing is you have to reinvent and reskill yourself with a new kind of skill sets so that you will continue to be relevant, and banks will be more agile and also nimble-footed to provide the required services and expectations of the customers. So this is what we need to learn. Going forward, the digital will continue to be the main driver of entire business processes. If you look at almost 30 years back, still we were in the nascent stage of the computerization. And initially, those people who know something about the basic database management system like Fox Pro, they used to be the greatest and most intelligent people in the bank. And after that, when the full computerization was started, still to some extent, these project officers used to be the main pillars of any branch. But once we started the integration of the branches through the core banking, and this Fox Pro basic skills were completely redundant. And something new has emerged, and suddenly we find ourselves that we are completely irrelevant. Typewriters have been replaced completely by the computers. And with the digital, many generations are becoming completely obsolete. That is the reason What I suggest to the younger friends to go on acquiring new skill sets, be current. At the same time, for the senior colleagues, I used to tell earlier also, you have a role to play because you are hands-on with the fundamental processes in the banking. So there is a need for the convergence of these two bright minds to make this a holistic dispensation and ensure the customer service is further enhanced. Whatever the technology that is introduced in the bank, unless that human touch and the customer as the fulcrum, if you do not consider that, the technology becomes useless. That is the reason I have been requesting all the friends to be more agile and learn. Even the new older generation as well, even the people of my generation, still there is a need to learn. The learning comes if you have the willpower. Nobody would have asked you to learn WhatsApp or YouTube. We felt the need, we automatically learned those things. And we ask so many questions to our children or grandchildren how to use certain apps because we felt the need. That kind of sense of the learning culture should automatically come to yield in the seniors so that you will be relevant, you will be most sought after, you are respected for that. Going forward, of course, there is a need for us to ensure that our customer culture, customer obsession culture is further nurtured. The new systems and new digital platforms should not replace the human touch, so that this 219 years legacy that we have acquired today will be carried forward at least for the next 200 years. Because our senior colleagues have struggled so hard to ensure that inclusive growth and sustained performance of this bank for 219 years. Now, it is our duty to ensure that it is safely handed over to the next generation. So that is why there is a need for all of us to work together. And I don't look at the officers association or staff union on the management or different parties. The basic objective is same. If we ensure the growth of the organization, the development of the people, we ensure a very stable and very calm and peaceful society. Long back, I was listening to a speech by Mr. Narayan Murthy. He made a statement that if you do not share what you have today, you will have a more violent society in future. Definitely that is the reason there is a need for more inclusive growth, inclusive development. Of course, bank is very, very compassionate organization. We have been provided with so many enablers and have been endowed with so many welfare measures as well. But it is up to us to take care of the organization and also to take care of ourselves. As long as the people are having that kind of consciousness about the ownership in the organization, I don't think it is difficult for this bank to sustain its performance for the next 200 years. There will be challenges, there will be disruptions. Everybody was so much concerned when the global integration of the financial system was rolled out in 91, that public sector banks will be under threat. But we have proved that public sector banks will continue to be relevant even today. Going forward as well, we will be relevant if we have the self-belief to serve the society, to serve the common man, because ultimately the balanced growth is the only growth that can be sustainable. And don't worry too much about, even I don't look at too much on the market capitalization, everybody speaks about it. I always argue only from one point. Market capitalization is a concept that only investors will speak. And as a social banker, as a commercial banker, I've got the dual responsibility of ensuring the growth and the development and also the welfare of the society. It's mostly driven by the intangibles, whereas the growth that we are pursuing is really tangible. That is the reason we should feel proud that as state bankers, our contribution to the economic growth and the country's development and social development is immense, and there is no match for us. I also will ensure that employee welfare in this circle as a member of the CMC will be the topmost priority. And we are accessible to all of you. I don't expect only the association to represent the issues. Of course, once in a quarter we sit together to discuss the issues. But in addition to that, even I have offered and suggested to them, any issues if you are having, you can come and discuss across the table. Find an amicable suggestion or alternatives if there is some challenge. But beyond this, we will be accessible to each one of you. If you have some suggestions or any challenges, you are welcome anytime. Only as long as we are available in the office, we will be accessible to you. I also visit some of the modules I visited and some regions and some places I visited. Going forward, I'll be coming to you. Generally, maybe some of the RMs and some of the chief managers might have some experience. More often, I'll be asking questions. I ask questions only to learn and to know the feedback from the ground level. Otherwise, most of the times, if I sit in the office room and ask for the feedback, generally the tendency is only very, very positive. I don't believe that. That is why I want to be more grounded. I need your support and your innovative suggestions. Today, the bank is also very, very punctilious about getting the feedback from the ground level. You might have seen today, I think recently, we have launched one initiative that is operational process reengineering. A lot of suggestions have been asked actually from the employees who are there in the offices, branches, because they are the right people who can give. The bank processes have undergone a tremendous change today. That is why most of the times, whenever you go on explaining, it will be just visualization for me to understand the process, because the digital process is something, unless until you experience, you cannot understand that better. So processes are undergoing a change, but the fundamentals will not be changed. They are like DNAs. They cannot be reprogrammed. So the fundamentals need to be protected, and the processes need to be learned by those people who are not into the operations. So this re-engineering, whenever you do the operations, it brings in tremendous efficiency, and also it makes our life simple at the branch level. We may not be expecting an idealistic situation. It will never happen, because our expectations will go on changing. So never it prevails upon. Same time, we should have a kind of mindset that things are possible to achieve. The kind of mindset, positive mindset, that it is possible for us to achieve any target that is given. Target does not mean that only the business growth. Any task that is assigned to us, it has been given by the bank with a thought process and with an expectation that it will be beneficial to the organization. If bank is benefited, we are all the beneficiaries as well. So that is the reason we need to have the kind of self-belief that the things that are given to us, the tasks that are given to us, we need to work hard towards achieving them. Same time, I also want to caution all the people. Today, the competition is intense. Every day, new players will be entering the banking industry. Many changes are happening. There is a tremendous churning in the industry as well. Because of the intense competition, we are vulnerable to commit some shortcuts. For every transaction, we should feel happy that State Bank has got a kind of SOP to ensure the objectivity and the professional standards while executing transactions. Here and there, even if you are doing some prudent deviations, management is there to protect you. If the deviation is with a bona fide intention, and you are expected to comply with the basic standards so that your future is secured, organizational interests are protected. If that is taken care, even if there is something goes wrong with the entire transaction, but at least you are protected, bank even the management will take very lenient view on that. This much I can assure you, as long as the transactions are bona fide, there will not be any threat for you. But ensure that we are the custodians of the customer's trust today. If the customer's trust is lost, everything is lost. Banking is ultimately a business of trust, not just driving a technology or even executing a transaction. There are so many banks, both in private sector or cooperative sector, people will be afraid to keep some deposits with them because even the customers have become more diligent nowadays before keeping their hard-earned money. They think twice to keep in a private sector bank or even a cooperative bank, but they believe in State Bank. It's because of the trust that State Bank commands in the market. Today, we are ranked as the fourth most trustworthy bank and best consumer bank in the world. That's a great tribute to the standards, ethics, and the professionalism that State Bank represents. So my compliments to all of you. Because of your contribution, this distinction has been achieved by the bank. All of you have been actually a part of these various initiatives by the top management, like Super SBI, and also the Next Leap programs, wherein even the top management from the chairman himself wanted to communicate to all of you the basic concerns of the bank, what we have achieved so far, what needs to be achieved, how we can achieve. These are the basic things that have been delineated much by all the top management leaders, and all of you are aware. But the problem is, it is just like watching a movie. As long as you are watching a movie, particularly when suspense thrillers, you will be engrossed so much. Once you come out of the hall, everything goes down. It should not happen. The focus and the kind of attention that is required for certain lofty goals need to be pursued vigorously. And as long as you work hard towards the basic objectives of the business development and operational hygiene, and also employee welfare, we will be there to support you. I also suggest, I don't know how many of you have even spoken to the CDO also. Bank has provided one welfare, unique welfare. I think very, very rare any other organization provides this kind of initiative, that is executive health checkup beyond certain age. And people, even now, I find very less number of people use that. Maybe when you go for medical health checkup, most probably you may be diagnosed with some abnormality and you will develop anxiety. That is one of the reasons why people will be hesitant or afraid to go for medical checkup. See, if there is something, at least if you diagnose early, there is a remediation for that. Unnecessarily don't develop any kind of anxiety or worry what could be the result of this medical examination. And today, you have this opportunity. There are many people who fail to do it because they are not endowed with this kind of initiatives, the facilities. Please use that. All those people who are eligible, I request you to immediately undergo the health checkup, executive health checkup, and get the benefits. Start a remediation or at least a medical treatment quite in advance so that you will not face a situation which is riskier. So I request all the controllers and also the CDO to pursue this one, and even association people also, wherever you go, please suggest this and ensure, because the welfare, employee welfare is the topmost priority for the bank. It's not merely just the namesake, these initiatives are rolled. State Bank believes strongly in the development of the human resources. That is the reason you are enabled, you are provided with so many enablers for learning, reskilling yourself, and also to upkeep your health, everything. So I request all of you to use these facilities, and my compliments to the Circle Association manager leadership for organizing this event so smoothly, with a great presence of all the comrades who have come here. And I'm very happy to see this large number of people assembling here to listen to the speakers and also be an active partner in this triennial General Council meeting. I wish you all the best. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for that valuable and insightful speech. He leads us with courage and strength.
ദയവ് ചെയ്ത് ആരും ഹാൾ വിട്ട് പോകരുത്. അടുത്ത നമ്മുടെ ജനറൽ സെക്രട്ടറി രൂപം റോയുടെ സ്പീച്ചുണ്ട്. പുറത്ത് നിൽക്കുന്നവരുടെ സ്ത്രീയാണ്. ദയവ് ചെയ്ത് ഹാൾ വിട്ട് മീറ്റിംഗ് വിട്ട് ആരും പോകരുത്. ഒരു 2 മണി വരെ ദയവ് ചെയ്ത് ഇരിക്കാനുള്ളൊരു ക്ഷമ കാണിക്കണം. എല്ലാവരോടുമായിട്ട് അപേക്ഷിക്കുകയാണ്.
He leads us with courage, conviction, and strength, and it is with immense respect and pride that I request and invite Comrade Biju T, President, State Bank of India Officers Association, Kerala Circle, to deliver the presidential address. Before that,
moving on to the keynote address, ASBOF General Secretary speech. Now, the key moment we have been waiting for. I'm extremely delighted and proud to welcome a visionary leader, a dynamic personality whose dedication, integrity, and commitment has been a guiding force for strengthening.
Comrade Biju T, the President of the Circle Association, Comrade Rajesh, the General Secretary, our Honorable Chief General Manager of the Circle, Sri K.V. Vangaraju, the General Managers from 3 Network, our Comrade Rajat, the President of State Bank Staff Association, Comrade Philip Koshi, the General Secretary SBI Pension Association, our leaders from all the affiliates of the All India State Bank Officers Federation, our former leaders, and my dear comrades. It's always it's a different feeling when you are in Kerala. Not only to see this kind of a gathering, but the way you conduct. Already our CGM sir, he has appreciated with the professionalism with which you do. And the kind of a trade union flavor that is always brought in with all your programs. And when you are in Kerala, and this is a state which is one of the few states, I must congratulate that things differently. As a people, that you don't go by the trend, but you set the trend in the society and wherever is there. So that's always a different feeling when I'm here. Although coming to Trivandrum is always very tedious, you will not get a direct flight. So you have to have some 7, 8, 10 hours of journey. But when you are here, the tiredness, and when you meet people, the tiredness is gone. That is the beauty of this place. And I congratulate the Circle Association for the 9th Triennial General Body meeting. I congratulate them for completing 25 years. And so many activities which Comrade Rajesh has explained. And the way you conduct the activities of the Circle Association. And also I thank all of you for actively participating in the democratic process, and through democratic way you have brought your new team, which will be definitely be serving the next 3 years with full dedication. I congratulate Comrade Biju T and Comrade Rajesh and his entire team for winning the election. Now, before I could start my speech, Comrade John Brittus, he has shared with you the challenges that are there for the public sector as a whole, for us and for the society, and our CGM sir has shared the concerns for the bank and what we must do to keep the flag of the bank flying high. Another 200 years and more than that, why 200, why not 1,000 years, that State Bank of India legacy should be intact. Now, we are sitting in this hall, and when we are here and when you are listening to me, I know the expectation that is there in your mind, and I will surely try to take care of your expectations so that whatever queries you have, these are addressed so that in the business session, Comrade Rajesh and Comrade Biju is not questioned more, and they are made free from all the questions. Now, I will not go back to the salary revision that has happened, because already it's around more than 2 years that we have completed the wage negotiation. And I will only try to request all of you, I will request all of you to kindly read the joint note many a times, the bank circular. So many benefits are there. Try to take advantage of those benefits. And particularly, as CGM sir has talked about the executive health checkup, I will also request all of you to kindly complete the CIB if you have not completed. That's an additional increment that is there. Because just to give you a small example, if an officer has joined the bank, and after joining the bank, if he has completed both JIB and CIB, and if he gets 3 increments, And if you calculate it along with the pension benefit, it's equivalent to buying the amount of money that you get. It's equivalent to a 3 BHK flat in Mumbai. So that kind of a compounding impact it has. So what many seniors we have, they have done it very late. Kindly don't do that mistake. So this is one of the unique benefit. Along with that, in the wage negotiation, the half-day CL that has come, that has given us a window where our duty hours has been defined. So if half-day for us is 4 hours, then full day will be 8 hours. So going forward, we had been fighting for, we had been demanding for the officers that regulated working hour, that will also be a reality. Now moving ahead, few of the issues which was kept pending, and maybe one such thing is 5-day banking, which I think in every phase I am seeing that 5-day banking. So that will also I will be sharing with you what are the developments of the 5-day banking, and along with that, so many issues with which we have gone on strike, if you remember. And in the strike, the first agenda was the recruitment of adequate number of clerical staff, subordinate staff, and also officers. And then we came to the 5-day banking. There are other issues like attack on the bankers, micromanagement by the DFS, tweaking the labor law, tweaking the benefits that is extended to association office bearers, doing trade unions, how you will do. And so many issues are there that we have very serious issues that we have raised. And during the course of the negotiation, although on the 5-day banking, nothing concrete or assurance has come. But on the recruitment, there was some upward movement in the recruitment. And this year, the recruitment in the public sector bank, it has gone up to 50,000, the indent that has been given, which initially when we started the agitation, some 5,000-6,000 clerical recruitment was proposed. I am not talking about State Bank of India and the other public sector bank. State Bank of India taken together, it was around 19,000. And when the negotiation progressed, we moved up to around 30,000 of indent. And this year, the 50,000 is the indent, and we will also try to impress upon the government and the management to increase the indent, because we must understand that today, more than the 5-day banking, the challenge that we are facing today is the shortage of officer and the employees. Although each bank justifies that we have adequate number of officers and the clerical staff, and they justify because it is a dictate that comes from the DFS. They have no other option for the management to justify what has been prescribed by the Madam Finance Minister or the DFS. We must understand one thing, that when there is a guideline from the DFS, even the bank management has no authority, even they cannot exercise that power, even they cannot change from a full stop and make it a comma. Such kind of an interference has started, and recently if you have seen the circulars that are coming from the DFS, be it the circular on the PLI for senior management, be it a letter coming from the DFS that an officer or an employee attaining the age of 55 and 58, the banks have to give the number to the DFS that how many of our officers have been retired at the age of 55 and 58 when they are due for extension. And every quarter you have to submit a report. They have, while framing the transfer policy, they have withdrawn the local level, whatever flexibility we are having. In all the circles they have suffered, even the circle management they have suffered. And the association also, they have tried to bring in many changes in the association immunity. They are talking about not more than 2 terms, an association office bearer can be given immunity. This is infringement of the labor laws of the country. This is an unfair labor practice, and we've raised it, and we have not allowed in State Bank of India. In other banks also, we are not going to allow this. Along with the transfer policy that has been brought in, which is more centralized, that is at the dictate of the DFS. Today, what we feel pity is that even this time, last time when we went to corporate center, we have made a presentation on the transfer policy, that what authority a DGM or a regional manager has on the transfer of an officer. If that authority you are withdrawing, you are more micromanagement is there, and you are keeping the management also in the watertight situation. This bank, with its boards being independent, this bank has been running for the last around more than 200 years. And this bank has been flourishing, and today we are making more profit than any private sector company. Even more than Reliance, we are making. The State Bank of India is making profit. So what for the DFS and the government, they are interfering in the functioning of the State Bank of India and its board is something we need to discuss and debate, and the voice should reach the parliament. And during this period, many such videos, I think you have also seen a video that we have made on the public sector bank that was shared with us, the contribution of the public sector bank and the challenges the public sector bank that is facing. And recently 2 videos from the All India Bank Officers Confederation we have released. Where is my interest? And today I was discussing with Comrade John Brittus, and I was sharing with him that the people of this country, they are not given the right interest rate, and the only solution, finally, what I have been talking about is recruitment in the public sector bank. Unless the public sector bank, their adequately numbers are there, the people of the country will be suffering, and there will be no inclusive growth, which our CGM sir was talking, that if there is no inclusive growth, then there will be more crime and violence in the society, there will be anarchy in the society. So that for that inclusive growth, the banking system, which is the, as the Honorable MP was talking about, that the economic sovereignty of this country is taken care by the public sector bank. That is very important, that there is a collective growth. And for that, we have been making many videos. And we will also expose this government that the merger, the proposal, and the privatization of the board they are proposing, where MD in the State Bank of India, they are trying to bring from the private sector. And they have already declared that the MDs will be brought, MDs and EDs in the other public sector bank will be also from the private sector. Along with that, when we have been debating on the PLI, when I told the DFS Deputy Secretary, ab to aapka kaam ho gaya, your work is done. You have announced that an MD will come from the private sector in State Bank of India, because with 3 lakh rupees salary, no MD is going to come from private sector. But with the incentive of the PLI of additional 50 lakhs or 60 lakhs, along with a salary of 50 lakhs, with 1 crore, maybe an MD may come from the private sector. Your work is done. So why this PLI and the differential system from scale 4 and above has been brought? The existing PLI in State Bank of India, other bank, is a time-tested process, and we are very happy with. We have to look into it. There are 5 brackets. The top bracket, maybe they will get the highest amount of money, but the other brackets will not get. And the last bracket, which is the 20%, they will neither get this PLI, they will also not get the industry PLI, which we get based on the performance of the bank, that is for maximum up to 15 days, that also they are not eligible. And this instruction, this circular of the PLI that has been distorted in the State Bank of India, in other banks, the bank level PLI is not there. That should be seen in conjunction with the another letter that has been released simultaneously during that time by the DFS, that send us the list of officers who have been retired in public interest at the age of 55 and 58. That means they should not be given extension. That list has to be sent. Now kindly look at the 20%, last 20% not getting any PLI. Do you think that those people will be given extension? So this year, maybe this 20% will not get extension. Next year, this 20% will not get extension. Next year, this 20% will not get extension. And similarly, within 5-6 years, a huge number of scale 4 and above will not be getting extension. Why this is done? We must understand why this has been brought. Why all those instruction circulars they are trying to bring, and why everything is happening now, where MD from the private sector, merger of the public sector banks, then this extension not to be given, then this PLI has been brought in, then FDI 49% to be increased, and again, equal representation in the board of the banks. With 49% foreign direct investment, the board representation will be totally changed. Why all these things coming up? In February 25, a prescription has come from International Monetary Fund, where they said, privatize the public sector banks as soon as possible. Merge, disinvest, privatize. And the government of India has already given an undertaking. The document is in public domain. You kindly see the country report of the IMF and the World Bank. You will get it somewhere on 18th of February 25. And recently, the tariff war that is going on, I have a serious doubt that there is a pressure on this government that the only sector, the banking sector, is making huge amount of profit. You tried to see that we don't survive by bringing in prompt corrective action in 2017 and 18, where you did not allow this government. The banks where the NPA was high. And why the NPA was high, that no one discussed. This government, when the media and the government, they are talking about that huge amount of money we are applying back to the public sector bank in the name of capital, that accounts for only 0.25% of the GDP of this country. Right now, they are not giving capital. But whatever they have given, that accounts for 0.25% of the GDP. Globally, if you see the developed countries, the government, they infuse 8 to 9% of the GDP in the banking system, be it public sector or private sector. So there is so much of halla gulla in this country where you are giving less than 0.25% GDP, that also we must understand. The total employment in the public sector or the government sector in this country is a 2004 data, is around 3.92%. Whereas total employment in the government sector and the public sector in a country like US, UK, or all developed countries, you will find somewhere more than 15 to 30%. Then why the government is saying that the government has no business to be in business? Why they don't want to privatize everything? So I find a serious connection between the IMF, the prescription that has been given, And there is a negotiation that has happened with the United States of America on the tariff, that the market has to be handed over to them. Because in the past, 2 senators from the US, they have said that if you are really serious about privatizing, you are really serious about privatization, you should privatize State Bank of India first. That we must understand. And on papers, the government has said that we are in the path of privatizing the public sector bank. These are on records. Kindly don't believe in what people say in the media or in the talk show. Kindly see the documents they are submitting to the international finance capital. So, if you see the gradual shift that is happening, first is starting from reconstituting the board. Now, when that day, on 4th of this month of November, when I was in the Delhi, in the CLC, the Deputy Secretary of the DFS sitting, I said, you got your MD. You are trying to put the MD from the private sector, although we'll oppose and we'll ensure that this doesn't come in the State Bank of India. We will not allow from any private sector, any person coming and running the State Bank of India. So that is a resolution that the associations and the unions have taken. We'll be opposing that and we'll ensure that it doesn't come. But in the meeting, I said, your purpose is over. Why you are still catching hold of the scale 4 and above? I think there is a design plan for you that in the name of not giving extension at 55 and 58, you will be culling the senior management. And there will be lateral entry happening in the public sector bank from scale 4 and above. And because that PLI you are giving so that from the market people come and join with that kind of a package of around 30 lakhs. And slowly these people will under the cost to the company. And we who are here in the bank now, they will be under the IBA structure of the salary up to 3. 4 and above will be the cost to the company. And slowly you will be making the board, senior management to the board level in the hands of the private sector with cost to the company. They will have no belongingness towards the bank as a whole, which we have today. So in that way, it mirrors what is happening what happened with the IDBI bank. Today the IDBI bank is about to be privatized, where some foreign buyers will be buying the bank. When I said this, when I went out in between the meeting, one responsible person from the government, he was there. And he shook hand with me and said, what you have said, what you apprehended is correct. This is what is cooking up that we must understand. 5-day banking, we will discuss. Say, more salary, we will discuss. More PLI, we will discuss. But whether we will exist, we will survive or not. Sir was talking about 200 years, another 200 years of State Bank of India. That is very important. As an employee, we must see that State Bank of India is number 1. Because you have 2 roles. One is represented by the management, the aspiration of the management you have to fill up. And the collective role, our own existence as an association, where we have to raise our voice. We have to be vocal. There also we need your clarity on the subject and your support, that we must understand the very character of the public sector bank of State Bank of India. Less interference of the government and the DFS in the affairs of the board, and not allowing it to be privatized is also another role of yours, which the associations, unions will be giving leadership. And in the days to come, we have to see that there is no political consensus for this. Even within the ruling party also, there is a difference of opinion. There's a small role you have to play, whatever videos, whatever things, materials we will be sharing. 2-3 videos you have seen, and more such videos will be coming, exposing what is happening inside, why this government is hell-bent to privatize the public sector bank, what is there inside the agenda, whether it is at the prescription of the IMF and the World Bank, or whether it is to please some Western government or maybe to the US, so that the tariff is at the choice of this government, maybe to favor few crony capitalists. These are the things we have to expose before the country.
Great organization. Our bank has been on a growth trajectory and it became the highest profit-making company in the country. I believe that our unwavering commitment, our relentless dedication of entire workforce, not only officers, is the reason why our bank grows to more heights year after year. Many challenges were being thrown to us, be it demonetization, be it mergers, I spoke, and internally, be it the irrational technological upgrades. Whatever situations we faced, we survived all those things. And I would say the working class of State Bank of India, especially officers, the adaptability is mind-boggling, and and had to match. I appreciate, I applaud, I salute every one of you for giving that much to the bank, for the development, for the growth, for making our bank bigger and bigger every day. But comrades, as the Comrade John Britta said, as our General Secretary Rubam said, we must be remainful of only one thing. We must be remainful that all is not well good for the bankers. The shadow of privatization. Every speaker said, till now, it was only a shadow. Now the shadow part has been, now it is privatization. It is there in the offing and it is going to come. We have to be alert. This privatization, which is looming large over all of us, that is my pertinent question. You ask yourself, do you want to be a mute spectator or you want to be at the forefront, voicing your dissent against any move of this government which threatens us? That is a billion-dollar question, as the old saying goes. Individually, we are a drop, but collectively, we are an ocean. Whether it is a protest, whether it is a demonstration or a conference like this, our collective strength prevails most. Comrade Ruben Roy already said, he is creating so many videos. We know, we are all receiving those videos against the privatization move of the government. It is our responsibility to reach it out to all the public. It is not for the bankers. Actually, it is all for the public. They should be aware. Then only our strike, then only this protest will be succeeded. We must understand that these predecessors who are sitting in front, they have toiled hard to get so many benefits for us. It is our moral responsibility to ensure that these benefits are protected, and it is our responsibility to ensure that we are protesting against any ill moves that is coming against us. Comrades, trust me, history remembers only those names, history remembers only those brave hearts who fought for what was right. Comrades, our history is a legacy of resilience. Let us leave this conference not just renewed in spirit, but united in purpose. We will, and as an ocean, we will determine our own tide. Let us have, only few people are there, but still, let us have 3 takeaways from this 9th General Council meeting. First is, be informed, which means that know what are all the challenges happening in this area, and we should be aware of what is happening around. Second is be involved, which means participate in every action, every effort to protect our dignity. And third is be inspired, which means that believe in the collective spirit. Friends, our responsibility as a comrade is more than a mere banker, especially during this changing scenario. We are sailors, we are custodians of public trust, we are the defenders of public institutions, and we are champions of people's progress. We are one family. Let us march ahead. Let us march ahead with our heads held high, with our hearts strong, and with our hands joined. Inqilab Zindabad. Thank you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for lighting the flame of inspiration within each and every one.
Former State Bank Officers Association, State Bank of Travancore, to kindly come to the dais and accept our felicitation.
Please keep the applauses going.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Biju sir and Rajesh sir.
Every gathering is enriched by words of encouragement, guidance, and goodwill from those who guide and inspire us. We now invite our dignitaries for their felicitation address.
Comrades, kindly join me in inviting the representatives from State Bank Staff Union Kerala Circle and State Bank of India Pensioners and Retirees Association Kerala Circle. First, I would like to invite Comrade Rajat HC, President of State Bank Staff Union Kerala Circle, to deliver his felicitation address.
Respected President of this meeting, Comrade Biju T, the inaugurator, Honorable Member of Parliament, Comrade John Brittas, in his absentia, our respected Chief General Manager, K.V. Bangar Raju sir, and the General Managers of the different networks, the leader of the leaders, IBOG General Secretary, All India State Bank of India Federation General Secretary, Comrade Rubam Roy ji, State Bank of India Officers Association Kerala General Secretary, Comrade Rajesh S, and my previous General Secretary and the General Secretary of State Bank of India Pensioners and Retirees Association, Comrade Philip Koshi, the different leaders from the respective state organizations, the presidents and general secretaries, the stalwart leaders who had led this organization with great conviction. My dear colleagues, comrades, a very warm good afternoon to all of you. At the outset, I'd like to extend on behalf of State Bank Staff Union Kerala Circle our heartfelt greetings and warm felicitations to all the officers gathered here on this important day. First of all, I would like to congratulate the leadership for the grand success of this triennial general conference. Arrangements, the planning, the discipline, the energy with which the thunderous slogans were raised, it shows the of SBIOA KC. This year is very special. Why? Because our administrative circle SBI, as well as State Bank of India Officers Association Kerala Circle, State Bank Staff Union Kerala Circle, we are celebrating our silver jubilee. Struggle, sacrifice, leadership, service, 25 years of standing together for the dignity of the SBI employees. State Bank of India Officers Association Kerala Circle has played an important role in ensuring the dignity of officers in our circle. All these years, SBIOA, the efforts ensured officers are respected, recognized, and treated with honor in our bank. So we can say that the legacy will certainly continue because the leadership is strong. And when the leadership is accepted by the membership, the voice of that leadership becomes more powerful when they represent the concerns of the fellow officers before the management. In our circle, the joint and collective working of both the organizations are very strong. We fight in separate platforms, but when it comes to the employee issues, bank-related issues, we stand together shoulder by shoulder. Joined the triennial conference of the Officers Association, Kerala Circle. See, there are things we have to look upon because the speakers earlier, Honorable Member of the Parliament as well as Rubam Roy ji has clearly narrated this. See, the world around us changing so fast. The issues or the challenges that may come up in the future, we have to understand. Even as we celebrate, or we must also understood the challenges we are supposed to face in the coming days, especially the new reforms. Because the banking industry in our country is also changing, new technologies and new policies, new customer expectations. Above all that, the government is bringing new reforms to banking industry with some speculated motive. So clearly, the IBOC as well as United Forum of Bank Unions have earlier called for a strike. Even IBOC has conducted a strike in the month of February, and UFB has called for a strike in the month of March, demanding various issues. The main demand was adequate recruitment. Adequate recruitment in all the PSBs. Yes, when we look at the figures, over the last 5 financial years, we can see that public sector banks have recruited almost 1,48,000 new employees. Even after that numbers has come to our floor, the net increase is only up to 6,500. Even our bank has recruited around 20,000 new to our bank. But now also we can experience staff shortage in many of our branches. Why it is so? And that is the main reason we are demanding for the new recruitment, so that the younger generation will also get an opportunity to serve the nation, to serve the bank, and also by ensuring a future employment in our bank. And the most alarming thing Rubam Royji has narrated is the DFS directions regarding the PLI to the senior management grade scale officers. It is clearly a shift to the corporate style HR. Because, see, we in every meeting, the questions raised before us is why we are not getting the PLI by the clerical staffs and subordinate staffs. But our leadership in every meeting, we used to inform them that we are standing with the common cause, because the ill-motive PLI scheme now supposed to get implemented in the banking sector has to be opposed by our tooth and nail. And this is the reason why both the organizations move ahead together. And also another thing we have to look at is the government's decision to sell the shares of public sector banks. Because when we look at the numbers, we can see that even in the last financial year, the public sector banks overall have generated around 1,78 lakh crores, 1.78 lakh crores profit. And our bank has contributed 40% of that. But even after generating profits year by year, in 2018, if we look upon the situation, we can see that the PSBs were at losses around 85,000 crores. Now, after 7 years, the